The deep space sensors started screaming at exactly 3:47 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Captain Dae-ho Kim was drinking his third cup of coffee in the Earth Defense Force Command Center when the alarms went off. The sound cut through the quiet night, like a knife. "Sir, we have massive contacts dropping out of hyperspace at the edge of the solar system," Lieutenant Soo-Jin Park called from her station. Her voice was steady, but Dae-ho could hear the fear underneath. Dae-ho set down his coffee and walked to the main display. What he saw made his blood turn cold. The screen showed thousands of red dots appearing in space, far beyond Pluto. Each dot was a ship. Each ship was bigger than anything humans had ever built. "How many?" he asked quietly. Soo-Jin checked her readings twice before answering. 10,000 ships, sir. Maybe more." The command center fell silent. 10,000 alien warships. Earth's entire space fleet had only 200 ships, and most of those were converted cargo vessels with weapons bolted on. They had always known this day might come, but seeing it happen was different. It was terrifying. Director Min-ho Lee arrived within minutes. He was a thin man, with gray hair, who had spent his whole life preparing for this moment. As head of Earth's Strategic Command, he had planned for alien contact, but not like this, not with an invasion fleet. "What do we know about them?" Min-ho asked, studying the display. "They're big," Soo-Jin reported. "The smallest ships are 3 times larger than our battleships. The biggest ones are the size of cities. They're maintaining formation at the edge of the system, but they're moving toward us." Slowly, Dae-ho felt sick. Humanity had spread to the moon and Mars, built space stations, and sent probes to other stars. They thought they were ready for anything. But looking at those red dots on the screen, he realized how wrong they were. "Send the alert to all Earth governments," Min-ho ordered. "Full mobilization, get our ships ready for battle." In the Pacific Ocean, far beneath the waves, Dr. Jae Sung-yoon received the emergency signal. He was working late in the hidden laboratory, where he had spent the last 15 years. Project Prometheus was his life's work. He had always hoped he would never need to use it. Jae-sung looked at the rows of enhancement chambers that lined his lab. Each one contained years of research into making humans stronger, faster, and smarter. The project had been kept secret because the world leaders were afraid of what enhanced humans might become. But now, with 10,000 alien ships approaching Earth, those fears seemed very small. He activated the emergency protocols and sent a coded message to Min-ho Lee. Project Prometheus was ready. Meanwhile, in the Defense Command Center, Hai-Wan, Choi was doing what she did best. She was a tactical analyst, which meant she looked at problems and found ways to solve them. Right now, she was looking at the biggest problem humanity had ever faced. The alien ships were beautiful in a deadly way. They had smooth, curved hulls that seemed to flow like water. Their weapons were invisible to human sensors, but energy readings showed they were powerful, beyond anything Earth could match. The formation they flew in was perfect, with mathematical precision that no human fleet could achieve. "They're not random pirates or explorers," Hai-Wan told the command staff. "This is a professional military force. They've done this before." "Done what before?" Dae-ho asked. "Conquered worlds," she replied. "Look at how they move. Every ship knows exactly where it should be. They don't waste energy or time. This is an invasion fleet that has practiced on other planets." The thought made everyone in the room feel smaller. Earth wasn't the first world these aliens had attacked. It probably wouldn't be the last. 24 hours after the alien fleet appeared, they sent a message. It came on every radio frequency, every television channel, and every computer network on Earth at the same time. The message was simple and terrifying. The voice that spoke was cold and mechanical. It didn't sound human, but the words were in perfect English, Chinese, Spanish, and 50 other languages all at once. "People of Earth, I am Admiral Kale Threenox of the Velkari Hegemony. Your world has been chosen for incorporation into our empire. You will surrender all military forces and submit to our authority. You have 72 hours to comply. If you refuse, your civilization will be destroyed. This is not a negotiation. This is an inevitability." The message repeated 3 times, then stopped. The silence that followed was worse than the words had been. Around the world, panic started immediately. Some people ran to the hills. Others gathered in churches and temples to pray. Government leaders held emergency meetings. But what could they say? How do you fight 10,000 ships with weapons you don't understand? In the command center, Min-Ho Lee looked tired. He had spent his whole career preparing for this moment, but now that it was here, he felt helpless. Earth's 200 ships looked like toys compared to the alien fleet. "What are our options?" he asked the room. "We fight," Daeho said simply. "We might lose, but we don't surrender." "With what?" someone asked. "They have 10,000 ships. We have 200. "Then, we make those 200 count," Sujin said from her station. She was young, barely 25, but her voice was strong. "My grandfather fought in the last World War. He told me that it doesn't matter how big the enemy is. What matters is whether you're willing to stand up to them." Heewon was still studying the alien fleet on her screens. "There might be a way," she said slowly. "They're too perfect. Look at how they move. Every ship follows the same patterns. They think like machines, not like humans. That might be a weakness." Min-Ho nodded. "Dr. Yoon's enhancements might help, too. If we can make our people faster and smarter, maybe we can surprise them." The 72 hours passed like a nightmare. Earth's governments argued about whether to surrender or fight. Some wanted to give up immediately. Others demanded a fight to the death. In the end, it didn't matter what the politicians decided. When the deadline came, Admiral Threenox got his answer not in words but in actions. Earth's small fleet moved to intercept the alien ships. Captain Daeho Kim led the way in his battleship, followed by every ship that could fly and fight. They were outnumbered 50 to 1, but they were ready to die for their world. The war for Earth was about to begin. The 72 hours ended at exactly noon, Greenwich Mean Time. Admiral K.L. Threenox sat in his command chair aboard the massive flagship Dominion's Edge and watched the human response with cold amusement. 200 primitive ships were moving to meet his fleet. It was almost insulting. "Shall I destroy them all at once, Admiral?" asked his tactical officer, a tall Velkari with silver skin and black eyes. "No," Threenox replied. "Send 500 ships to demonstrate our power. Destroy their major cities from orbit. When they see their homes burning, they will surrender quickly." The Admiral had done this 17 times before on 17 different worlds. The pattern was always the same. Show overwhelming force, destroy some targets, wait for surrender. Most species gave up after losing a few cities. Humans would be no different. But Captain Daeho Kim had no intention of surrendering. He stood on the bridge of his battleship, the Sole Defender, and watched the alien ships approach. 500 of them broke away from the main fleet and headed toward Earth. Even 500 ships was more than twice the size of his entire fleet. "All ships, this is Captain Kim," he spoke into his communication system. "Remember, we're not trying to win a fair fight. We're trying to make them pay for every inch of space. Make them remember that humans don't go quietly." Lieutenant Sujin Park was flying a small fighter craft called the Busan Strike. She had volunteered for the most dangerous job, getting close enough to the alien ships to attack them directly. Her fighter was fast but fragile. One hit from an alien weapon would turn her into space dust. "This is crazy," her wingman said over the radio. "Those ships are enormous." "Yeah," Sujin replied, checking her weapons. "But they're also slow. Big ships turn like cargo freighters. We can dance around them." She was wrong about them being slow, but she was right about something else. Humans could do things that alien computers couldn't predict. The first battle began near the orbit of Mars. The Velkari ships opened fire with weapons that turned space itself into a burning hell. Beams of pure energy reached across millions of miles and cut human ships in half. Missiles that could track targets through dimensions exploded like small suns. In the first 10 minutes, 30 human ships died. The survivors kept fighting. Daeho watched his fleet being destroyed and felt rage building in his chest. These aliens thought humans were just another weak species to be conquered. They were about to learn differently. "All ships, attack pattern Delta," he ordered. "Don't try to match their firepower. Get close and hit them where they don't expect it." The Sole Defender dove toward the nearest alien ship, a sleek vessel the size of a city block. Velkari weapons locked onto him immediately, but Deho did, something the alien computers didn't expect. Instead of trying to dodge in a logical pattern, he flew like he was drunk. Random turns, sudden stops, impossible rolls that defied military doctrine. The alien targeting systems couldn't keep up. They were programmed to fight logical enemies, not crazy humans who broke all the rules of space combat. Sujin discovered the same thing in her fighter. The alien ships were trying to shoot her down, but their computers kept guessing wrong about where she was going. That was because she wasn't following any plan. She was flying on pure instinct, turning when it felt right, diving when her gut told her to dive. "I don't believe it," she whispered, as she slipped past a massive alien battleship's defenses. "They can't track us if we don't know what we're doing ourselves." Her missiles struck the alien ship's hull and exploded. For the first time in the battle, an alien ship took damage. The explosion was small, barely a scratch on the huge vessel, but it proved something important. The aliens could be hurt. Back on Earth, Dr. Jae Sung-yoon was preparing his first batch of enhanced soldiers. Project Prometheus had been designed to make humans faster, stronger, and smarter, but it had never been tested in real combat. Now there was no choice but to find out if it worked. The first volunteer was a young pilot named Han Sol, who had crashed during the initial attack. His ship was destroyed, but he had survived. Now he lay in the enhancement chamber while machines rebuilt his body at the cellular level. "The process will hurt," Jae-sung warned him. "Your reflexes will become 10 times faster. Your muscles will be 3 times stronger. Your brain will process information like a computer. But the change might kill you." Han Sol looked at the doctor with eyes full of determination. "Doc, they just killed my entire squadron. If this can help me kill some of them back, do it." The enhancement process took 6 hours. When Han Sol emerged from the chamber, he was no longer entirely human. His eyes glowed slightly in the dark. His movements were fluid like a cat's. When he spoke, his voice was calmer and more focused than before. "I can hear the alien radio signals," he said in wonder. "I can understand their language, and I can see patterns in their fleet movements that I never noticed before." Meanwhile, the battle in space continued. The human fleet was losing badly, but they were learning. Each ship that died took some alien vessel with it. The Velkari were discovering that humans didn't fight like other species. They didn't follow logical patterns or give up when the situation was hopeless. Haewan Choi was watching the battle from Earth and analyzing every detail. She sat in front of dozens of computer screens, tracking the movement of every ship. What she saw made her both hopeful and terrified. "The aliens are making mistakes," she reported to Director Min-ho Lee. "Small ones, but mistakes. They're not used to fighting enemies who don't follow rules." "What kind of mistakes?" Min-ho asked. "They keep expecting our ships to retreat when they should retreat. They keep trying to predict our movements using logic. But Captain Kim and the others aren't being logical, they're being human." She pulled up a tactical display. "Look at this. The alien formation is perfect for fighting other aliens. Every ship has backup from 2 others. Their weapons coverage is complete. But they're not adapted for fighting crazy humans who attack from impossible angles." Min-ho studied the display. "Can we use that?" "Maybe," Haewan said. "But we need to understand their technology better. And we need more enhanced humans like the ones Dr. Yoon is creating." In space, Captain Dae-ho Kim was discovering the same thing. His ship was badly damaged, but he had managed to destroy 2 alien vessels. The trick was not trying to fight them on their terms. Instead, he fought like a human. When the aliens expected him to retreat, he attacked. When they expected him to attack, he hid behind space debris. When their computers calculated that he should turn left, he turned right for no logical reason at all. "Captain," Sujin's voice came over the radio. "I'm seeing something strange. When we act unpredictably, their ships seem to freeze up for a few seconds, like their computers need time to recalculate." Dae-ho smiled grimly. Then let's give their computers something really difficult to calculate. The first battle lasted 18 hours. When it was over, Earth's fleet was nearly destroyed. Only 40 ships remained out of the original 200, but the aliens had lost 23 ships, and Admiral Thrennox was no longer amused. How did primitives destroy 23 of my vessels? He demanded from his tactical officer. They don't fight logically, Admiral. Our computers cannot predict their movements. They seem to act on instinct rather than strategy. Thrennox stared at the tactical display showing his damaged ships. Instinct, he said slowly. Barbaric. But we have 9,500 ships remaining. Send 2,000 for the next attack. I want this world crushed. On Earth, the survivors of the first battle were being treated in hospitals, but Dr. Jae Sung-yoon was already enhancing the next batch of volunteers. The enhanced humans from the first group were showing abilities that surprised even him. They could think faster, move quicker, and most importantly, they seemed to understand alien technology instinctively. We're changing, Jae-sung told Director Min-ho Lee. The enhancement process is doing more than we planned. The humans are becoming something new, something the aliens have never faced before. Min-ho looked at the tactical reports. Earth had lost most of its space fleet, but the aliens had learned that humans wouldn't give up easily. The next battle would be even harder. How many enhanced humans can you produce? And he asked. Give me a week and I can enhance 1,000 soldiers, Jae-sung replied. Give me a month, and I can enhance 10,000. We don't have a month, Min-ho said. The aliens are preparing for their next attack. We need every advantage we can get. The war was just beginning, and already it was clear that this would not be like any war ever fought before. The aliens had superior technology, but humans had something they didn't understand: the ability to be completely unpredictable. It was going to be a long fight. Admiral Thrennox was angry. In his 300 years of military service, he had never lost ships to a primitive species. The humans were supposed to be easy prey like all the others. Instead, they were fighting with a ferocity that made no tactical sense. 2,000 ships, he told his fleet commanders. This time we destroy their orbital defenses completely. No more games. I want Earth helpless. The second wave of Velkari ships moved toward Earth like a silver tide of death. Each ship was the size of a skyscraper, armed with weapons that could burn continents. 2,000 of them together could destroy a planet. But Earth wasn't the same planet it had been a week ago. Director Min-ho Lee stood in his command center, surrounded by screens showing defensive preparations around the world. Hidden weapons were coming online. Enhanced human soldiers were taking positions. Most importantly, Dr. Jae Sung-yoon had finished creating the first battalion of fully enhanced warriors. How many people have been enhanced? Min-ho asked. 500 so far, Jae-sung reported. But the process is getting faster. The enhanced humans are helping train the new ones. They understand the changes better than I do. Min-ho looked at the tactical display. 500 enhanced humans against 2,000 alien ships. The odds are still terrible. Yes, Jae-sung agreed. But these aren't the same humans who fought the first battle. There's something new. Lieutenant Soo-jin Park was one of the new enhanced humans. She had volunteered for the process after watching her friends die in the first battle. Now sitting in the cockpit of her rebuilt fighter, she felt like she could see and think in ways that had been impossible before. Her enhanced eyes could track a dozen targets at once. Her improved reflexes made her old reaction times seem sluggish. Most importantly, her enhanced brain could process alien technology and tactics in ways that normal humans couldn't. This is Lieutenant Park to all enhanced pilots. She spoke into her radio. I'm reading the alien ship movements. They're using the same formation as before. They haven't learned from their mistakes. Captain Dae-ho Kim had also been enhanced after his ship was destroyed in the first battle. He now commanded a small group of enhanced soldiers aboard a captured alien vessel that human engineers had somehow made operational. The aliens think logically, he told his team. They assume everyone else does too. That's their weakness. They can't understand beings who act on instinct and emotion. The second battle began differently from the first. Instead of meeting the aliens in open space, the enhanced humans used guerrilla tactics. They hid behind asteroids, inside space debris, and even inside the wrecks of ships from the first battle. When the Valkyrie fleet arrived at Earth's orbit, they expected to find the remaining human ships waiting for them in formation. Instead, they found nothing. The enhanced humans were everywhere and nowhere, striking from shadows and disappearing before the aliens could respond. Sujin led a squadron of enhanced pilots in an attack that should have been impossible. They flew their fighters inside the exhaust ports of alien ships, something that required reflexes and coordination beyond normal human ability. Once inside, they planted explosives that tore the ships apart from within. Impossible, Admiral Threenox muttered as he watched 3 of his battleships explode. How did they get inside our shields? His tactical officer was checking sensor readings frantically. Sir, the human ships are moving in patterns our computers can't track. They seem to be anticipating our weapons fire before we target them. This was partially true. The enhanced humans had developed an almost supernatural ability to sense danger. Dr. Jae Sung-yoon had designed the enhancements to improve reflexes, but something unexpected had happened. The enhanced humans could feel threats in ways that normal humans couldn't explain. Back on Earth, analyst Hye-Won Choi was coordinating the ground-based defense systems. She had also been enhanced, and her improved mind was processing battlefield data faster than any computer. What she discovered changed everything. I found their weakness, she announced excitedly to the command staff. The alien ships are networked together. They share information instantly, which makes them incredibly coordinated. But if we can disrupt that network, they'll be confused and isolated. Director Min-Ho Lee looked at her tactical analysis. How do we disrupt an alien computer network? We don't, Hye-Won replied with a smile. We confuse it. Enhanced humans think differently than normal humans. We think differently than the aliens. If we can feed false information into their network, their computers will try to process human logic and fail. She had discovered something amazing. The enhanced humans weren't just faster and stronger than normal humans. They were also more unpredictable. Their thought patterns were so chaotic that alien computers couldn't understand or predict them. Dr. Jae Sung-yoon was in his laboratory, working on the next phase of the enhancement process. The first 500 enhanced humans were already showing abilities he hadn't expected. Now he was preparing to enhance 1,000 more, but with improvements based on what he had learned. The enhancement process is evolving, he told Min-Ho over the secure communication line. The enhanced humans are developing new abilities on their own. Some can sense alien technology. Others seem to understand alien languages instinctively. It's like they're adapting to fight this specific enemy. This was actually happening. The human enhancement process was changing in response to the alien threat. Enhanced humans who survived battles were developing new abilities that helped them fight better. It was evolution happening at superhuman speed. In space, Captain Dae-ho Kim was testing one of these new abilities. He found that he could interface directly with alien technology just by touching it. This allowed him to turn captured alien weapons against their former owners. All enhanced units, this is Captain Kim, he broadcast to the scattered human forces. I've figured out how to use their own weapons, target their command ships. If we can destroy their fleet coordination, they'll have to fight us as individuals instead of as a coordinated force. The battle raged for 3 days. The enhanced humans fought like nothing the aliens had ever seen. They attacked from impossible angles, used tactics that made no logical sense, and adapted to alien countermeasures faster than the aliens could implement them. Sujin Park destroyed 6 alien ships by herself, using techniques that she invented in the middle of combat. She would dive toward an alien ship at full speed, then suddenly reverse direction in a way that should have torn her fighter apart. But enhanced human bodies could survive forces that would kill normal people. The enhanced soldiers led by Dae-ho Kim captured an alien cruiser and used its weapons to attack the Valkyrie fleet from within their own formation. The aliens found themselves shooting at their own ships because they couldn't tell which vessels were still under their control. Most importantly, Hye-Won Choi's plan to confuse the alien network was working. She had enhanced humans feeding false information into captured alien communication systems. The Valkyrie computers were trying to process human thoughts and failing badly. Their coordination is breaking down, she reported as she watched the alien fleet movements become increasingly chaotic. Their computers are receiving conflicting information and can't decide what to believe. Admiral Threenox was watching his perfect formation fall apart. His ships were firing on each other. His tactical computers were giving him impossible recommendations. His entire fleet was descending into chaos. "What are they doing to us?" he demanded from his bridge crew. "We don't know, Admiral," his tactical officer replied. "Our computers show that the humans are everywhere and nowhere. According to our sensors, some human ships are in 6 places at once. Others appear to be moving faster than light without using hyperspace technology." None of this was actually true, but the alien computers thought it was true because enhanced humans were feeding them information that their logical systems couldn't process correctly. By the end of the 3rd day, Admiral Threenox had lost over 400 ships. The remaining 1,600 vessels were scattered across Earth's solar system, many of them firing blindly because their sensors couldn't tell friend from enemy. For the first time in his long military career, Admiral Threenox considered retreat, but he had 8,000 ships still waiting at the edge of the solar system. Surely that would be enough to crush these impossible humans. On Earth, the enhanced humans were celebrating their victory, but Director Min-Ho Lee knew the war was far from over. The aliens still had overwhelming numbers, and they would learn from their mistakes. "Dr. Yoon," he called to the laboratory, "how quickly can you enhance more humans? We're going to need thousands more enhanced soldiers for the final battle." "Give me another week," Jae-sung replied. "But the volunteers are coming forward faster now. Word is spreading about what the enhanced humans can do. Everyone wants to help fight back." The tide of the war was turning, but the biggest battle was still to come. Admiral Threenox was preparing to commit his entire fleet to destroying Earth. 8,000 alien warships against a few thousand enhanced humans. It was going to be the fight that decided the fate of humanity. Admiral Threenox had made his decision. He would commit every remaining ship to the final assault on Earth. All 8,500 vessels would attack at once, turning the human world into molten slag. No more tactical games. No more underestimating these primitive creatures. Total annihilation. "All ships," he broadcast to his massive fleet, "prepare for final assault. We will burn every city, every military base, every trace of human civilization. This species has embarrassed us long enough." On Earth, Director Min-Ho Lee watched the approaching alien fleet with grim determination. The sensors showed an armada of ships so vast it blocked out stars. Every satellite, every space station, every orbital platform detected the same terrifying truth. Humanity was about to face its final test. "How many enhanced humans do we have now?" he asked Dr. Jae-sung. "Yoon. 3,000 enhanced soldiers, pilots, and technicians," Jae-sung replied. "But I've also activated the final phase of Project Prometheus, the quantum network linkage." Min-Ho looked puzzled. "What does that mean?" "It means all enhanced humans can now share thoughts and reactions instantly," Jae-sung explained. "They'll fight as one mind in 3,000 bodies, but there's a risk. If the network fails, they might all die at once." The final phase of enhancement had been Jae-sung's greatest fear and greatest hope. The enhanced humans would be linked through quantum entanglement, allowing them to coordinate like no military force in history. But the connection went both ways. If one enhanced human died, all the others would feel it. Captain Dae-ho Kim stood on the bridge of the captured alien battleship that had become his flagship. Around him, enhanced human crew members worked with alien technology as if they had been born to it. The quantum network was already active, and he could feel the minds of every enhanced human in the defense fleet. It was overwhelming at first. 3,000 minds thinking as one, sharing fears and hopes and tactical knowledge. But slowly, the chaos became harmony. The enhanced humans weren't just individuals anymore. They were part of something larger. "This is incredible, Lieutenant." Soo-Jin Park's voice came through both the radio and the quantum link. "I can see through every enhanced pilot's eyes at once. I know what every alien ship is doing before it does it." She was flying a new fighter built from captured alien technology and human engineering. The ship was impossible by either species, standards alone, but together, human creativity and alien science had created something amazing. Hai Wan Choi was coordinating the final defensive strategy from her command center. Through the quantum network, she could process information from thousands of sources simultaneously. Her enhanced mind, linked to all the others, was becoming something like a military computer that could think creatively. "I see their plan," she announced to the defense forces. "They're going to surround Earth completely and bombard it from every direction. But that formation has a weakness. If we can get ships inside their sphere, they'll be trapped between their own forces." The plan that emerged from the linked enhanced minds was audacious beyond belief. While some enhanced humans would defend Earth directly, others would use captured alien ships to sneak through the enemy formation. Once inside, they would coordinate with ground-based weapons to create maximum chaos. Dr. Jae Sung Yoon was no longer just observing the enhanced humans. He had enhanced himself and joined the quantum network. Through the shared consciousness, he could monitor the physical and mental state of every enhanced human simultaneously. "The network is holding," he reported, "but the strain is enormous. If this battle goes on too long, the enhanced humans might burn out their nervous systems." "How long do we have?" Minho asked. 6 hours, maybe 8, Jae Sung replied. "After that, enhanced or not, they're still human. They need rest." The alien fleet reached Earth's orbit just as the sun was setting over the Pacific. Admiral Thrennox's ships formed a perfect sphere around the planet, with Earth trapped in the center like a fly in a web. From his flagship, the Admiral could see the blue and white world that had caused him so much trouble. "Begin orbital bombardment," he commanded. "I want continuous fire from every ship. Burn the surface until nothing lives." But as the first alien weapons began to fire, something unexpected happened. Human ships appeared inside the alien formation. Having somehow passed through the Valkyrie lines undetected, they began attacking the alien vessels from behind, while ground-based weapons fired from Earth's surface. Captain Dae-ho Kim was leading the attack from inside the alien sphere. Through the quantum network, he could coordinate with every enhanced human simultaneously. As his ship fired on an alien cruiser, Sujin Park was attacking its engines while ground-based missiles struck its shields. "All enhanced units execute Pattern Chaos 7, Dae-ho commanded through the network. Pattern Chaos 7 wasn't a real military maneuver. It was something the enhanced humans had invented through their shared consciousness. Every enhanced fighter, every enhanced soldier, every enhanced technician would act completely randomly while still supporting each other through the quantum link. The result was devastating to the alien fleet. The Valkyrie computers were designed to track and predict enemy movements, but the enhanced humans were doing things that had no logical pattern, while somehow still working together perfectly. Sujin Park dove her fighter directly into the exhaust port of an alien dreadnought while simultaneously coordinating with ground forces to target the same ship's power core. The timing was perfect, but only because 3,000 enhanced minds were working together. Admiral Thrennox watched in horror as his formation fell apart. His ships were being attacked from every direction by enemies that seemed to know exactly where his weaknesses were. Human fighters were appearing inside his heaviest shields. Ground-based weapons were hitting targets that should have been impossible to reach from the planet's surface. "How are they doing this?" he demanded from his tactical officer. "Sir, our computers indicate that the humans are sharing information faster than our communication systems can process," the officer replied. "They seem to be thinking as a single organism while maintaining individual creativity." This was exactly what was happening. The enhanced humans had become something new, a species that could think collectively while acting individually. They were everything the aliens were not: unpredictable, creative, and absolutely unified in their determination to protect Earth. Dr. Jae Sung Yoon was monitoring the battle through the quantum network when he realized something amazing. The enhanced humans weren't just using their new abilities to fight. They were developing even newer abilities in real time. Enhanced soldiers were learning to interface with alien technology they had never seen before. Enhanced pilots were inventing new flying techniques in the middle of combat. "They're evolving," he reported to Minho with wonder in his voice. "The enhanced humans are adapting to threats faster than I thought possible. They're becoming something beyond what I designed." On his captured alien flagship, Daeho Kim felt the same thing. Through the quantum network, he could sense every enhanced human growing stronger, faster, smarter as the battle continued. They were learning from each other instantly, sharing every discovery and innovation across the entire network. "Sujin, try targeting their quantum drive cores," he suggested through the link. "Already tried it," she replied. But Hansol found something better. "If we overload their navigation computers, their ships become helpless." Hansol was an enhanced pilot who had discovered that alien ships relied completely on their computers for basic flight operations. If those computers were confused or damaged, the ships couldn't even maintain orbit. The battle raged for 4 hours. The alien fleet's perfect sphere formation became a chaotic mess as ships collided with each other, fired on their own forces, and spun helplessly out of control. The enhanced humans were everywhere at once, striking with perfect coordination while remaining completely unpredictable. Admiral Threenox realized he was losing. His mighty fleet of 8,500 ships was being destroyed by a few thousand enhanced humans who fought like nothing he had ever imagined. For the first time in his career, he gave an order he had never thought he would give. "All ships prepare to retreat," he commanded. But retreat was not going to be easy. The enhanced humans had anticipated this moment. Through their shared consciousness, they had prepared for exactly this situation. They had ships waiting at every possible escape route. As the alien fleet tried to flee, they found enhanced humans blocking their path at every turn. Ships that tried to jump to hyperspace found their navigation systems sabotaged. Vessels that tried to fight their way out discovered that the enhanced humans knew their tactics better than they knew themselves. By dawn, Admiral Threenox's fleet of 8,500 ships had been reduced to fewer than 50 operational vessels. The space around Earth was filled with alien wreckage and the slowly cooling hulks of once mighty warships. The enhanced humans had won, but at a cost. The quantum network was beginning to strain their nervous systems. Several enhanced soldiers had collapsed from exhaustion. Dr. Jae Sung-yoon was frantically working to stabilize the network before it burned out completely. "We need to end this quickly," he warned through the network. "The enhanced humans can't maintain this level of connection much longer." Captain Daeho Kim felt the strain too. The silence after the battle was strange. For weeks, space around Earth had been filled with the sounds of war, explosions, energy weapons, and the screams of dying ships. Now there was only the quiet hum of life support systems and the distant stars. Admiral Cale Threenox sat in his command chair aboard one of the 10 remaining operational ships from his once mighty fleet. Around him, the bridge crew worked quietly, their silver faces showing emotions that humans might recognize as shame and fear. In 300 years of military service, Threenox had never experienced defeat. Now he had to return home and explain how 10,000 ships had been destroyed by a species the hegemony considered primitive. "Admiral," his communications officer reported, "the human commander is requesting to speak with you." Threenox straightened in his chair. "Put him through." Captain Daeho Kim appeared on the main screen. He looked tired. The quantum network had exhausted all the enhanced humans, but his eyes were steady and determined. Behind him, Threenox could see the bridge of what had once been a Velkari battleship, now crewed by humans who operated alien technology as if they had built it themselves. "Admiral Threenox," Daeho said formally, "your surviving ships are free to leave our system, but I want you to carry a message back to your people." "I am listening," Threenox replied. "Tell them that Earth wants peace." Daeho continued, "We don't want to conquer other worlds or build an empire, but we will defend ourselves against anyone who threatens us. Make sure they understand that clearly." Threenox studied the human commander's face. There was no hatred there, no desire for revenge, just a calm determination that was somehow more frightening than anger would have been. "I will deliver your message," Threenox said. "But I must ask, how did you defeat us?" Our technology is centuries ahead of yours. Our fleet was 50 times larger than your forces. Daeho was quiet for a moment, considering his answer. You fought like machines, he said finally. Perfect. Logical, predictable machines. We fought like humans. Unpredictable, creative, and too stubborn to give up. That made all the difference. On Earth, Director Min-Ho Lee was overseeing the massive cleanup operation. Alien ship wreckage filled Earth's orbit, and some pieces had fallen to the planet's surface. But mixed with the alien debris were the remains of human ships and the bodies of human heroes who had died protecting their world. How many did we lose? He asked Dr. Jae-Sung-yoon, who was reviewing casualty reports. 237 enhanced humans died in the final battle, Jae-Sung reported sadly. Plus over 1,000 regular military personnel from the Aichi earlier engagements, but sir, they saved 7 billion people. Min-Ho nodded solemnly. What about the survivors? The enhanced humans who are still alive? They're adapting well, Jae-Sung said. The quantum network changed them permanently. They can still share thoughts and coordinate with each other, but at a much lower level. It's like they're all part of an extended family now. This was true. The enhanced humans who had survived the war found that they could sense each other's emotions and thoughts when they concentrated. They had become something new, still human, but connected in ways that normal humans weren't. Lieutenant Soo-Jin Park was one of the survivors. She stood in the observation deck of a space station, looking out at the wreckage of the alien fleet. Her enhanced eyes could see details that normal humans would miss: the elegant curves of alien hull designs, the strange beauty of their weapons, systems, the advanced materials that human scientists were already studying. It's almost sad, she said to Captain Daeho Kim, who had joined her at the observation window. They came here to destroy us, but their technology is incredible. If they had come in peace, we could have learned so much from each other. Daeho nodded. Maybe that will happen someday. But first, we need to make sure Earth is ready for the next visitors, peaceful or otherwise. The enhanced humans were already working on that problem. Using captured alien technology and their own enhanced abilities, they were building new ships, new weapons, and new defense systems. But more importantly, they were preparing to enhance more humans. Dr. Jae-Sung-yoon had refined the enhancement process based on what he had learned during the war. The new enhanced humans would be even more capable than the first generation, and the quantum network could be activated safely for short periods without risking burnout. We're creating the Guardians of Earth, he explained to Min-Ho Lee. Enhanced, humans who can protect our world and explore the galaxy. But they'll still be human at heart, creative, unpredictable, and determined to protect what they love. Analyst Haiwan Choi was working on a different kind of preparation. She was studying every piece of alien technology, every tactical recording, every communication intercept from the war. Her enhanced mind was processing patterns and possibilities that normal human intelligence couldn't grasp. The Velkari won't be the only aliens we encounter, she reported to the Earth Defense Council. Their communications mentioned other species, other empires. Some might be peaceful, but others will be hostile. We need to be ready for anything. Her analysis showed that the galaxy was full of intelligent species, most of them more advanced than humanity. But the war with the Velkari had proven something important. Advancement wasn't just about technology. Creativity, adaptability, and the will to survive were just as valuable as energy weapons and faster than light travel. Meanwhile, Admiral Threnox was making the long journey back to Velkari space with his 10 surviving ships. The trip would take months, giving him plenty of time to think about what had happened at Earth. His crew was demoralized, but Threnox found himself strangely fascinated by the humans he had fought. Tactical officer, he called to his subordinate. In your opinion, what made the humans so effective against us? The officer considered the question carefully. Sir, I believe it was their ability to act individually while thinking collectively. Our forces are either perfectly coordinated or completely independent. The humans somehow managed to be both at the same time. Threnox nodded slowly. And their unpredictability. Our computers could not calculate responses to beings who acted on emotion and instinct rather than logic. As his small fleet traveled through hyperspace, Threenox began writing his report for the hegemony leadership. It would be the most difficult document he had ever written, but also the most important. The galaxy needed to know that humanity was not like other species. Back on Earth, the enhanced humans were already looking toward the future. They had proven they could defend their world, but they knew that isolation wasn't a long-term solution. Eventually, humanity would need to take its place among the galactic community. Captain Daeho Kim was named the first commander of Earth's new stellar defense force. His job was to prepare humanity for whatever came next, whether it was peaceful, contact with other species, or another invasion fleet. "We won this war," he told the first graduating class of new enhanced humans. "But winning one battle doesn't make us safe forever. The galaxy is huge, and it's full of species we've never imagined. Some will be friends, others will be enemies. Our job is to make sure Earth is ready for both." Lieutenant Sujin Park became the leader of the Enhanced Pilot Corps, training new generations of humans to fly ships that combined human creativity with alien technology. Dr. Jae Sung-yoon continued his research, always working to improve the AI enhancement process while keeping enhanced humans connected to their humanity. Hae Wan-choi became Earth's first alien technology specialist, reverse engineering captured Velkari systems, and preparing defenses against other potential threats. Director Min-ho Lee coordinated all these efforts while maintaining Earth's traditional governments and societies. The enhanced humans had become the guardians of Earth, but they made sure never to become its rulers. They remained part of humanity, protecting it rather than controlling it. Months later, when Admiral Threenox finally reached Velkari space, his report sent shockwaves through the hegemony. The leadership had trouble believing that a primitive species could destroy 99% of their invasion fleet, but the evidence was impossible to deny. Recommendation, Threenox concluded his report. Avoid future contact with the species, called humans. They are unlike any enemy we have previously encountered. They adapt faster than our computers can calculate responses. They fight with creativity that our tactical doctrine cannot counter. Most importantly, they never surrender, even when defeat seems certain. The hegemony leadership debated for days about how to respond to this news. Some wanted to send an even larger fleet to destroy Earth completely. Others argued that the humans might make valuable allies instead of dangerous enemies. In the end, they decided to do nothing. Earth would be marked as a forbidden system off-limits to Velkari ships. The humans had earned something rare in the galaxy, the respect of a superior military power. But word of humanity's victory spread to other species throughout the galaxy. Some were intrigued by these unpredictable creatures who had defeated the mighty Velkari. Others were concerned about a new player entering galactic politics. On Earth, the enhanced humans continued their work. They built new ships for exploration and defense. They trained new generations of enhanced humans to serve as Earth's protectors. Most importantly, they prepared for the day when humanity would venture out among the Sainti.